ਵੈਲਕਮ ਟੂ ਦਿਸ ਐਪੀਸੋਡ ਆਫ ਦ ਹਰਪ੍ਰੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਸ਼ੋ। ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਇਸ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਫਾਈਲ ਸੈਗਮੈਂਟ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਮੁਲਾਕਾਤ ਕਰਵਾਉਣ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਜੌਨ ਵੈਲਕਨ ਨਾਲ। ਇਹ ਇੱਕ ਹਾਊਸ ਚਲਾ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਕਿ ਸਵੈਭੀਮਾਨ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਵਿਅਕਤੀਆਂ ਦਾ ਖਤਮ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਜੇਕਰ ਉਹ ਡਰੱਗਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਚਲੇ ਗਏ ਨੇ ਜਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਗਲਤ ਕੰਮ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਰਕੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਲੋ ਮਹਿਸੂਸ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਥਾਂ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਉਹ ਸਿਖਾਇਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਲਾਈਫ ਸਕਿੱਲਸ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਚੰਗੇ ਇਨਸਾਨ ਬਣ ਸਕਣ। ਹਾਲ ਹੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਹਿਊਮੈਨਿਟੇਰੀਅਨ ਅਵਾਰਡ ਵੀ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਗਿਆ ਦਲਾਈ ਲਾਮਾ ਵੱਲੋਂ। ਆਓ ਇਸੇ ਸੰਬੰਧ ਵਿੱਚ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜੌਨ ਵੈਲਕਨ ਨਾਲ। Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Pleasure having you here. Thank you. First of all, congratulations for the humanitarian award which you have been given by Dalai Lama.
Yeah, thank you.
So a little bit about yourself, John, if you could tell our viewers today, what prompted you to come into this particular part of your life where you are serving others?
Well, you know, I believe once you looked after your family and you feel like you have enough to get through your old age, what's there? I never was after money. I like building things. And when I sold the business, I thought, now what? And I was chosen as Entrepreneur of the Year, and I had all the recognition in the business world. So I thought it's time to give back. You know, and the first, you know, I go to church, and my belief is to look after, you know, the handicapped or those who cannot look after themselves. And so I started out feeding the poor downtown, but I thought that's not really where the need is. The need was, when as I've seen a lot of those struggling, they don't know how to live. And we teach them the life skills. You know, get up in the morning, 6 o'clock, brush your teeth, make your bed, get to work, you know, and then there's a lot of activities, and we started now to secondary post-secondary education, you know, and it's becomes more of a life skills. The drug scene, obviously, drugs is not part of our life skills. You know, so it's amazing when they come in, when the young men or women, they're usually between 19 and 29, in that age group, and when they come in, the self-image is just doesn't exist. You know, they feel like they're a failure. Quite often we hear really things like that, if it wasn't for the John Volken Academy, I'd be lucky to be alive now. No, I'd be lucky to be in jail, because I'd probably be dead. You know, and because for a young man to commit themselves for 2 years to change their life is a pretty awesome thing.
Absolutely, no doubt. We'll talk in details about what all is done, but let's go back a little bit. So you were a successful businessman, but then after you succeeded in that, you thought of giving back to the society. So when did you start thinking about having an academy where you can start doing what you want? Which year was that?
Oh, maybe it goes back when I was a child. I lived in an orphanage for a while. And I thought, you know, people say, oh, poor fellow. No. I had 30 brothers then, and I had a great time. And I thought, you know, the orphanage I need, and of course we don't have orphanage per se in Canada. But I always thought doing something, giving back. You know, I'm very independent, and I thought there was so much need out there, and I can look after myself pretty well.
So basically it was ingrained in you from the time when you were in that orphanage, and you wanted to give back to the society.
And my church also helped, you know, we always preach of you know, what you done of the least of these, my brother, and you done unto me. You know? So that's very inspiring to me. You know?
Wonderful. So once you started, of course, it was not an easy task, must not have been an easy task, lots of challenges. What has been your experience dealing with such kind of people?
Oh, you know, there was a time when I thought drug addicts, lock them up. You know, but that was a long time ago, until, you know, our young men and women, they're awesome. For, as I said, for young men or young women to commit themselves for 2 years, I want to change my life. I have a song in me, I want to sing it, but I can't do it as an addict. They come in there, they're humble, they're quite often intelligent, and when they leave, you won't recognize them. The parents say, I hear it all the time, what did you do to my son? What have you done to my daughter? I don't like, they look different, they speak different, and they're amazing. and they come from often from good families, well educated, and they just took the wrong turn, whatever the reason may be, and they realize that, and they realize, and they know that there's more to life than just existing. So it's amazing. You know, I keep on saying making money was fun, but this is rewarding. Even though I go from morning to night, I work harder now than when I made money. I don't get a penny for what I'm doing. Right. In fact, I give it all away, all of it. You know, when I start the business. Right. But it's from morning till late at night. And my wife phones me, you know, say, so when you're coming home, it's 10 o'clock, you know. And but it's so rewarding when you see life being changed. Really, there's nothing like it.
Right. What commercialization we are finding today in the society, and everybody is running after that so-called success. But as you have said, you left that and now you feel more successful in what you are doing by serving others. Yeah. Today, what we are finding, as I said in the beginning also, that we are being driven by different thoughts, and that thoughts of commercialization are having a, you know, they're penetrating into our minds and they're taking astray. We are not having those kind of feelings, those values which our religion teaches us. So you indulging with them every day, talking to them, sharing their feelings, their pains, their sorrows, their joys. Ultimately, that judgment aspect which we have in the society, oh, these guys or those guys, what they are doing, whatever they did wrong, they are being, God is punishing them. So that kind of feeling and judgment which is there. What would be your message to the society? How to come out of that judgment and actually start serving them and trying to bring them back into the mainstream?
Oh man, that is so difficult to answer without being judgmental, you know. But I can only talk about myself, and I feel we teach for you to become the best that you can be. If all you can do is handling a shovel, then I say become the best in shoveling. Right. You know, if you want to be a truck driver, be the best truck driver. And if you have talents to run a business, I like business, you know, and it creates jobs. It's really it builds you, because people may say, oh, that doesn't work, and then you do it and it works. You know, there's nothing like it. Right. But we teach our young men and women to become the best that they can be. Right. You know, and we don't judge because at the end, to be successful is not how much money you got in your bank account. Right. It's like, what about your family life? What about your children? What about your parents? Did you look after them? Did you make a difference in the community? Right. And are you being loved? Now the thing is, the more you get involved, you know that there's going to be people that don't like you. You know, because I believe that if you say everybody's my friend, then I wonder whether that's so. It can't be. Yeah. Right. So success is when you're 65 years old or older, and you look in the mirror and say, "Yeah, I sang my song. I made a difference in life." Right. You know, how sad it is when they say, when you look in the mirror, when life is over, it says, "I failed. I should have taken the opportunity. I should have done this. I should have done." That is a sad thing. And I believe in God. And there's going to be somehow a judgment. Right. And can you imagine, he says, what can I do with you? You had all the opportunities in life to make a difference, but you didn't. You know, and that drives me too. Wonderful. You know, I want to do the right thing. Wonderful. We'll go for a short break, come back and talk a little bit more about your academy, what all is being done, and how the community can also get involved after this short break. Thank you. So ਹੁਣ ਤੱਕ ਜੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜੌਨ ਨੇ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕਿ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਜੌਨ ਵਲਕਨ ਅਕੈਡਮੀ ਚਲਾਈ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ, ਉਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ ਨੌਜਵਾਨ 19 ਸਾਲ ਔਨਵਰਡ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਗਲਤ ਕਦਮ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਅਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਜੀਵਨ ਜਾਚ ਸਿਖਾਉਂਦੇ ਨੇ। ਸਿਰਫ ਖਾਣਾ ਪੀਣਾ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਲਾਈਫ ਸਕਿੱਲਸ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਟੀਚ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ ਜਾਂਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ। ਇੱਕ ਸਕਸੈਸਫੁਲ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸਮੈਨ ਸਨ, ਲੇਕਿਨ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਰਿਅਲਾਈਜ਼ ਕੀਤਾ ਕਿ ਪੈਸੇ ਹੀ ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਹਨ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਦੂਸਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਰਵ ਕਰਨਾ ਅਤੇ ਦੂਸਰਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਦਲਾਅ ਲਿਆਉਣਾ, ਇਹੀ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਡੀ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਜੋ ਹੈ ਇਨਸਾਨ ਨੂੰ ਲਿਆ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ। ਇਸ ਬਾਰੇ ਹੋਰ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਇਸ ਛੋਟੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਬ੍ਰੇਕ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ।
ਕੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਰਜ਼ੇ ਦੇ ਬੋਝ ਹੇਠ ਦੱਬੇ ਹੋ? ਸਮਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਕੀ ਕਰੋ? ਫਾਈਨੈਂਸ਼ੀਅਲ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮਸ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਲਾਈਫ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਮਾੜਾ ਅਸਰ ਪਾ ਸਕਦੀਆਂ ਹਨ। ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਮੁਸ਼ਕਲ 'ਚ ਹੋ ਤਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਮਦਦ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ।
ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕਰਜ਼ੇ ਨੂੰ ਵੱਧ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਧ ਘਟਾ ਕੇ ਰਹਿੰਦੀ ਰਕਮ ਨੂੰ ਇੰਟਰਸਟ ਫ੍ਰੀ ਕਿਸ਼ਤਾਂ 'ਚ ਬਦਲ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ।
ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਰਜ਼ੇ ਤੋਂ ਮੁਕਤ ਕਰਾ ਕੇ ਨਵੀਂ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਜੀਣ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਮਦਦ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ।
1866-790-8984 ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸ ਸੋਲੂਸ਼ਨਜ਼, ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਪਰੇਸ਼ਾਨੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਸਾਥੀ।
Once again, welcome back to the program. ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀਆਂ ਬਦਲ ਸਕਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਜੇਕਰ ਮਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਛਾ ਹੋਵੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੇ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਦਲਾਅ ਲਿਆਉਣ ਦੀ। ਉਸ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਹੀ ਜੌਨ ਵੈਲਕਨ ਜੋ ਹਨ ਇੱਕ ਅਕੈਡਮੀ ਚਲਾ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਵਿਅਕਤੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਸਮਾਜ ਨੇ ਦੁਰਕਾਰ ਦਿੱਤੇ ਜਾਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਵਜ੍ਹਾ ਨਾਲ ਉਹ ਵਿਅਕਤੀ ਇੱਕ ਗਲਤ ਰਾਹ 'ਤੇ ਤੁਰ ਪਏ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵਾਪਸ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਦੀ ਸਹੀ ਜਾਂਚ ਜੋ ਹੈ ਦੱਸਣ ਲਈ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕੀਤੀ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ। ਔਰ ਇਸੇ ਸੰਬੰਧ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੋਰ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਲੈਣੀ ਹੈ ਜੌਨ ਵੈਲਕਨ ਤੋਂ। So John, like you were telling before the break, that it involves your passion. That's what is evident, and that's what you do. And in whatever field you are, you ought to have that passion to succeed. Now, John Volken Academy, you've been running since 2004. Like the daily program, you say you teach them life skills. Lots of challenges must be there because a person who's absolutely finished off, who has no hope of living, when he or she comes to you, it must be taking a lot of determination on their part as well as your part to bring them up to that level where they can stand with their head high. So if you can tell us a daily routine, what happens, what kind of life skills are taught, and what are the challenges you face?
Well, the challenges is obviously they are used to one way of living, and even though they realize their life has to be changed, they feel like, no, this is what I've done, and they resist, and nobody likes to change.
Right.
That's the big thing, and so we little by little, it's a therapeutic community, which means each one teach one.
Right.
The one advanced in the program teach younger ones. When they come in, there's always a shadow, they call them. You know, they because when they come in, quite often they're lost.
Right.
They feel like something tells them they should be there, but there's this screaming, get out of there, you know, because that's not what I'm used to. That's
Right.
not how I used to live, and they're quite often they're confused. You know, it doesn't come across that way, but they're, as far as they're concerned, but they are confused because they're contradicting themselves all the time. So we teach them to begin with the very basics. They have to get up early in the morning and you know, brush their teeth, and we teach them proper etiquette, proper dress code.
Right.
You know, all those things that you say, well, everybody should know that. No, they don't quite often, you know, and because they just live like a zombie, you know, just whatever is comfortable they did with. So now they feel uncomfortable. But at the end, sometimes takes a year. I've seen it happen so many times after a year that they realize, oh, now I know why I'm here. But you know, it takes up to 5 years for the brain to get to the point that it doesn't get any better.
Right.
5 years. And the largest therapeutic community in Italy is done now, extended the residency of their students
Right.
to 3 years.
Okay.
Our program is 2 years. Long time. But the thing is, you heard, you know, people go through short-term programs, 2 or 3 months. They're still the same addict.
Right.
They feel great because the symptom is gone, but they're still the same addict. That's a relapse. If you predispose towards addiction, it becomes a chronic disease, and
Right.
you need help. If you're not predisposed, you can use for 20 years and say, I quit, and they
Right.
quit. But you're not, you know, so you may have used for 20 years, but you're not an addict.
Right.
Big difference, big
Right.
difference.
Absolutely. So basically what you're saying is their mindset is changed, and that's where your academy plays a role in that.
Yeah.
Okay. Now for running this, another concern is that lots of recovery houses are opening, and the city is also concerned. Are you concerned about those kind of recovery houses which are being opened, and the major objective is something different, but they project it to be something different?
Yeah, you know, I support our mayor, Diane Watts, on that, because it's a real dilemma. Yes, they say, well, we are addiction recovery, but they're not really. They got the 12 steps on the wall.
Right.
They get the welfare money. They come there, and during the day they're gone, and they're doing what
Right.
not good stuff, let's say. But what are you going to do? Shut them down, then where do you go? At least they have a place to hang their head. Now, it's a very difficult decision. I can see the neighbors being upset. I'm with them
Right.
on it. But the alternative to shut them down I think it's worse. Yeah, it's a real dilemma, and
Right.
I wouldn't want to make the decision, you know, shut them down or keep them open, because they're doing some good, but it's not necessarily the perfect answer.
Right. So John, how is your academy run? Where do the finances come from?
Well, that's where my foundation comes in. You know, we, as I said, when I saw the business, I put it all into a foundation, and the foundation supports supports our students.
Right.
We have a facility also in Washington, in Arizona, and
Okay.
I did business there too, and that's all in. We have a U.S. foundation and a Canadian foundation,
Right.
and it's supported. It's all paid for. You know, the residency and the treatment and everything is paid for by the foundation. But we have also supporters. You know, other foundations that help us, and
Right. Community also supports?
pardon me.
The community also supports?
Yeah, the community. We have, you know, when city supports us, and individuals
Right.
or parents of students. You know, the program is free.
Right.
There's an intake fee, but then the program is free, and when quite often they say, thank you, thank you, thank you.
So John, what can a family do? Because especially we find, and in the Indo-Canadian community also, this problem is increasing. Irrespective of any community now, it's prevalent in virtually all the communities. So when a child especially gets involved in drugs, what can the parents do at that time? How can they influence the child, and how can they take the services of your academy?
Tough one. Because here we talk about enabling them. You know, when parents, you know, the son comes up, and I just, you know, these stories are similar, it happen all the time, and because our guys tell us stories, they're the greatest manipulators.
Right.
Dad, you know, I need $5 for gasoline. The dad knows that $5 goes somewhere else.
Right.
But he doesn't want to believe it. And he loves his son, and he has $5, you know, and he knows when the son leaves, he breaks his heart and says, you know. So that enabling is probably the worst thing that parents can do.
Right.
And it's one little story that just takes a minute. You know, graduation, 5 young men standing there graduating, and the mother gets up, and I get emotional when I think about this, because that happens all the time. They said, my son left the program, came back and said, Mom, I'm never going to use again, I promise. And the mother said, he looked different and he spoke different, and I wanted to believe it.
Right.
But I said, no, I was disappointed in him so many times. I took a jacket from it hanging out, threw it out the door and said, you're not getting into the house. And the son said, Mother, thank you, you saved my life. But
so the initial bonding, what you're saying, that is very important, where the denial phase needs to be finished, and they need to bond and work on that.
yeah, you know, I hope I'm not judging that and sort of thing, but that's a fact. It's such a critical time to say no to them, and it saves their life. You know?
Absolutely.
So, but that's not always the case.
Right.
Sometimes they do it right, and it's son and daughter do it anyways. And there's, you know, we're all different. Some are just downright rebellious.
Right.
Just because the parents say no, they got to say yes. The parents say yes, the kids say no. You know?
Right.
And they have to learn on their own.
Absolutely. But this is the time when they can take the services of John Volken Academy, and if they need some more information about this or be a part of this organization, because as you said, it's a place where everybody is welcome, and you try to change their lives. So any phone number or any website where they can get more information?
Well, yeah, we have a website, and it's very simple. It's volken.org.
Okay.
And it tells us all about us. Or the phone number is 604-592-3001.
Wonderful.
And all you need to be is committed to change your life.
Right.
And participate in the program.
Wonderful.
It doesn't happen by itself. You have to participate.
Absolutely. The participation has to be there, but then of course the guidance is from the academy, and definitely when there's synchronicity between both, results are seen. It was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you and best wishes.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. ਸੋ ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਜੌਨ ਵੋਲਕਨ ਐਸੀਆਂ ਸ਼ਖਸੀਅਤਾਂ ਅੱਜ ਵੀ ਸਮਾਜ ਵਿੱਚ ਹਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਸਮਾਜ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਪਰਿਵਰਤਨ ਲਿਆਉਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ। ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਇਹ ਡਿਸਕਸ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਡਰੱਗਸ ਦੀ ਗੈਂਗਸ ਦੀ ਬੜੀ ਵੱਡੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਪੈ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ, ਪਰ ਉਸ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਸੋਲਿਊਸ਼ਨ ਕੀ ਹੈ। ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹੀਆਂ ਸੰਸਥਾਵਾਂ, ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹੇ ਲੋਕ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਿ ਤਨ ਮਨ ਧਨ ਨਾਲ ਸੇਵਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ, ਇਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜੇਕਰ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਲੈਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੋ ਤਾਂ volken.org ਤੇ ਜਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਜਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਸਕਰੀਨ ਤੇ ਦਿੱਤੇ ਹੋਏ ਟੈਲੀਫੋਨ ਨੰਬਰ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਫੋਨ ਕਰਕੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਲੈਣੀ ਹੋਏ ਤਾਂ ਲੈ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ।